purpose of this show is to keep your learning brain sharp and have some fun with music. Stir crazy, let's have some fun. Stir crazy with number one.
Move. Move is a word that you do with your body. It's an action word. I want you to move, but then move is always also something you can do with your emotions. I just wanted to bring that up because that's what we're trying to do with our songs. Move people with our words by taking what's in our heart, putting it to words, and sending it out there. But now we're talking about moving with our bodies because that promotes the activity of your brain. Did you know that? Yes, you need to move for your body and your brain. So this whole segment, this whole time I'll be talking to you now is about you being aware of moving and making your movements meaningful. So for example, I'll tell you some things that I just make up as I go along, or some things that I do during the day to entertain myself and others. Like, I think I'll be an animal. So let's be an elephant. Oh, don't just do it once. Be an elephant with me. Do it again. Well then, we don't have time to do that all day, but you could do it for 10, 12, 20 times. Could you do it even more? Why not? Give it a try. Oh, what animal would you like to be? And how would you move to be that animal? I like to be a peacock sometimes. Look, here is a peacock with all my feathers behind me. Here's a peacock with all my feathers out. Try that with me. Okay, peacock. And now the peacock is feathers out. And now the peacock is feathers down and out and down. Oh, here's my favorite thing to do with moving. And you might have seen this one before. I'm going to grab stars out of the sky, okay? Here we go. You do it with me. Grab them, grab them, grab them, grab them. Oh, hey, maybe we could do it this way. Grab them and put them on the ground. Grab it, put it down, grab it, put it down. Now be careful, but try this. Grab the stars. See, I got two. Now I'll put them down without bending my knees. There you go. Now, when you get these movements, you do them more than once. Now, that's because you get good exercise and more brain power is developed because of it. And you know what? Not only that, but your muscles get stronger. And then you're more prepared to play an instrument or to be on the ball field or ride your bike or anything else important in life that you can do with your healthy body. Now, let's think of some more. Do you have some? The whole point of this is you think of your own things, animals or activities that you can make into an exercise. Now, I like this one, like throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. So you do that 10 times, 20 times. Now let's throw the ball with our right hand. Do you know what your right and left is? Left, right. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. Don't throw the ball like this. It'll end up on the ground. Throw the ball. Use your shoulder. Throw the ball. Swimming is a good exercise. Let's pretend we're swimming in the lake or the pool. Swimming, 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 swimming. Think of your own. But can you see how that develops the muscles in your shoulders to play an instrument, like the piano, or the violin, or the cello, or do you see how that develops your muscles to throw the ball far, or make those baskets? Yes, it's good to keep moving. So think about moving when you're inside or when you're outside, and make it fun by connecting it to animals or other activities that you do. There's something else really, really important about moving. You have to remember to breathe. If you breathe when you're moving, your movements are more meaningful and more effective to make you stronger. I don't know if I said that so well, but remember this, breathe, breathe. So let's practice moving and breathing. Breathe deep from right down here, like a singer does. And remember, you're all singers. So fill, this is your diaphragm. Fill it with air, like it's a balloon. Go. And now, let it go out. Fill it with air. I bet you do this in school sometimes. Okay, now we'll add the movement to it. Here we go. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. You need this energy. Breathe out. To sing, to speak out, to play, to feed your brain. It's oxygen. All right, do that. You can go in your backyard, no one will see you. You can do that all day long. And if you're developing as a dancer, you need to breathe and learn to move too. Now, let's make this moving the brain and the body a little more fun by putting vocabulary of music terms to it. Let's do that. For example, there's a word, some of you know it, it's called largo. It's in the musical language and it means go slow. So, let's make our bodies go slow motion. Do it with me. Do it with me. If you're just sitting on the floor, or if you're hiding behind the couch because you don't want to do it, it's time to come out. Let's do it. Here we go. Largo. Go slow. Oh, you're doing great at doing that slow motion. So then, after you do that for a while, which takes a lot of control, by the way, maybe you'd like to go, stay in the same spot and go presto. You tell me what presto means. Yep, presto means fast, really, really fast. So do that for a while. You'll get your breath taken away. You'll have to stop and breathe. Now, andante means walking tempo. Let's walk, pretend like we're walking in the woods and we can hear the birds and smell the flowers. It's spring. Walking, walking. I'm going to count now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Yeah. Only count to 4 and then you start over. That's musical counting. Anyway, let's see, we did largo, that means slow. We did presto, that means really, really fast. We did andante, that means walking tempo. Oh, here's something fun to do. You can add art to the learning musical terms and feeding your brain and your body. Look, sweeping back and forth like this. So look, what if you had a chalkboard or a piece of paper on the wall, and you put a magic marker, because I know you like magic markers, and I know your parents probably don't like to give them to you, but maybe they'll make an exception. All right, magic marker, back and forth, and back and forth. So I have to change colors, excuse me. Back and forth. Oh, do that for a while, then, oh, I've got to change colors. Back and forth, and back and forth. Well, then you know what I do. I'll change colors again as many times as you want to. Well, what do I have? I have a rainbow. So you could make that art. You could just do it and pretend to make a rainbow. Now, I want to add a musical term to go with that. It's legato. Legato means smooth and connected. Is that the movement you're making? It certainly is. Legato. Say it with me. Legato. Smooth and connected. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a great word? Legato. 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 Smooth and connected. Now, what about staccato? Hey, I need to add some staccato to my picture over here. It's kind of like a little bird. Peck, 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 peck. It's short and separate. Peck, peck. Let's call it peck, peck, peck. Peck, 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 peck. Oh, I've got 2 magic markers. Isn't that great? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of interesting. Makes the picture beautiful. Anyway, that's a good exercise too. Staccato. It means short and separate. Oh, just a few more. Look, if you have music that goes up in pitch like this, that means ascending. You've probably heard that word before. It's not only used in music. So, if you start like this and you come up, then you're ascending. You could even sing while you do it. La 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 la. Descending. La 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 la. Hey, my point is, you make these up. Don't just try to remember mine and do them. You don't have to. You can make up your own movement to music or movement to ideas you have in your head. Look, if you put on music, remember we talked about listening? You can just free flow move. I'm not putting any music on now. I'm just hearing it in my head. This is called in music improvisation. You just kind of make it up as you go along. You can do that too. Now, if you're a dancer, you can dance. You're moving. You're feeding your brain and your body. But there's one other thing I want to show you. This is a game that you can play with yourself or with others. What you do is, with your feet, you make either objects or letters, either things or words. And then somebody has to guess what they are. But you can practice by yourself. For example, here I go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What do you think that might be? 1, 2, 3. Anybody know? It's just an A. So you could write whole words that way. You could also make shapes. If you're in kindergarten, you're learning your shapes. You really like this. I bet you knew that was a circle. The A we made before was kind of like a triangle, wasn't it? And then all the other shapes you know, square, rectangle, you can do those as well. So let me tie it up by saying, make a game, your own game, up about how you can move and feed your brain and your body. Good job, everyone.
Here's William, ready for another joke break. What type of songs do planets sing? Neptunes.
Hello again, this is Mike. Happy to be here on Stir Crazy, Let's Have Some Fun. And today we're going to do something called I Play, You Play. So it's going to sound a little weird because I'm going to play and then I'm going to just look at the camera. And when I'm looking at the camera, that's the part where you play what I play, okay? So I play a rhythm and you repeat it. Got the idea? So it's pretty easy and it's fun. And we'll see what happens here. So we're not going to worry about anything. We're just going to listen to sounds, and I'll play something, and you repeat it, okay? Let's give it a try. And, you know, let's see if I can do this with my tambourine, and I'll give you an example. I'll see if I can do this. I'm not sure if I can, but we'll see. All right, ready? Get the idea? I play, you play. The tambourine was you. Okay? All right, here we go. Get your instruments. Everybody ready? Here we go. That's I Play, You Play. How'd you do? Did you do good? Let's try another one. And this time, we'll go a little slower. Okay? Here we go. I bet you did great. Let's add another thing to it. Let's add sounds, okay? So I don't know if you remember, but we talked about low sounds and high sounds, okay? Let's see if we can add some sounds, all right? Low, low, high, high. Low, 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 high, high, high. Low, 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 high, high, high. High, high, low, low, low. High, high, low, low. High, high, low, low. Low, low, high, high. Low, low, high, high. Low, 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 high, high, high. High, 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 low, low, low. High, 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 low, low, low. Get the idea? So that's I play, you play. If you guys have brothers and sisters, or you could do this with mom and dad, or grandma and grandpa, or your friends, or anybody, play I play, you play, where you play an idea and you have them repeat it for you. Okay? All right. See you next time.
Hi, this is Ryland. How cool is that?
Did you know that the piano was invented in the early 1700s? Electric pianos like this one didn't come along until 250 years later. The piano was invented in hopes to create a keyed instrument that could be played both loud and soft. Because it uses both strings and vibration from hitting them, it is considered both a stringed and percussion instrument. How cool is that?
Hi, this is Anna here at ArtReach, and today I'm going to tell you about an artist named Dorothy Liebe. So here's a photo. Dorothy Liebe is also known as the godmother of modern weaving. So she was born in the late 1800s, and the majority of her career was as a textile designer and a weaver from about the 30s until her death in the 70s. And she designed woven textiles, so things like you would have your couch covered in, or draperies, pillows, anything that would be in your house that would be made of fabric. She designed those types of fabrics. She also did art weaving. So these are some examples of weavings that she did. She was kind of famous for incorporating, I don't know if you can see that that's metallic. She would incorporate pieces of paper, bits of metal, all sorts of different things that weren't traditionally things that were woven into fabric. Those didn't make it into the commercial textiles that she did, but they were incorporated into the designs that she did for herself. So these are some textiles that she designed. This is another weaving of hers where you can see some of the metallic threads in there a little bit. So we are going to do some basic weaving, and you are going to create your own loom with a piece of cardboard. So what you're going to need is a chunk of cardboard, some scissors, maybe a little bit of adult help with that portion, some yarn or string, and then whatever else you want to weave in. So it could be strips of paper, fabric, ribbon, anything that you have, sticks even, that you want to incorporate into your art piece. So the first thing you're going to do is mark out a pattern of where you're going to put notches in this cardboard. It doesn't really matter how far apart they are. You don't want them so close together that you can't cut them without the cardboard turning to mush, and you don't want them so far apart that you only have like 2 or 3 strands. So mine are about 1/2 inch apart. That measurement doesn't have to be exact, but you do want whatever you measure for the bottom to be the same as whatever you measure for the top. So I started 1/2 inch from the edge on this side, and put my mark there. So I went a 1/2 inch from the edge down here and made my mark. And then I kept those measurements consistent, so I would have the same number across the top as I do across the bottom. Okay, now you're going to need your string. Oh, sorry, skipped a step. So then this is the part where we may need some adult help. We're gonna cut into that cardboard just a little bit. So I have cut in there only about 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if that'll show up. So only about 1/4 of an inch is it cut up in there. And I did that for every mark across the bottom and every mark across the top. So get some adult help if necessary. And I'm just using a scrap of cardboard that came off of a shipment of something I ordered off the internet, some art supplies in my case, but any type of cardboard, even like a cereal box, will work just fine. Okay, now we need your string or yarn. And this is going to make our warp. So in weaving, we have warp, which are the long threads that are kind of stationary. And I'm wrapping all the way around and I'm pushing that string into that little notch that we made. And I snipped with those scissors. So my string is going into that notch, and that's gonna hold it in place. Now I'm just gonna leave my weaving on the cardboard because I'm making it as an art piece, not as like a piece of fabric that I'm gonna sew with or something like that. Typically weavings are taken off their looms, but in this case, our loom is just gonna remain part of our design. So when you see what I make, if you want to color your background first, you absolutely can do that, or put some decorations along the edges. Okay, so I'm wrapping that around. And if you're working with a thinner piece of cardboard, you wanna make sure that you're not pulling your yarn or your string really tight because it'll make the whole thing kind of curve. So like this one is done on a thinner piece, it can very easily curl up like that if I pull that yarn too tightly. Okay, so I got my yarn stretched across. I'm gonna cut that extra piece off. You can put a little piece of tape to hold down those extra pieces on the back side if you want to. Okay, so this is our warp. W-A-R-P, warp. Now we're gonna make our weft. So weft is the threads that go back and forth across here. If we were making fabric, we would want to make sure that we used string, yarn, fabric through here. But as an art piece, you can use whatever you want to be your weft. So I am going to show you with some strips of paper because they will be the easiest to see. Typically in weaving, we go under one, over one, under one, over one, under, whoops, under one, over one, under one, over one, under one, over one. Okay? Then the next strip would go the opposite way. So I went under this first piece of the warp. So with my weft, the next one is gonna go over that piece. And then the next one here, this strip went over, so the strip above it is gonna go under. And I'm gonna keep weaving through. I went over with that one there, so I'm gonna go under with this one. So you see how that works? Whatever the last strip did, I'm doing the opposite with this strip. So I'm continuing to go over and under, over, under, over, under in the opposite way that I did the one before it. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to do upside down and backwards. All right, there. So now I have 2 strips of my weft in there. I have these long pieces because I wanted them to be long enough for you to be able to see them really easily. But if you're doing this at home, you're gonna cut your pieces so that they're a little bit shorter. And then you can keep going all the way up. So I'll show you some of the other ones that I've made. This one has yarn and ribbon and felt and fabric woven in there. This is another one that I did with lots of similar things. You can also go over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. You can create your own pattern. So in math, if you've been learning about AB, AB, AB patterns or AABB, AABB, right? It's the same kind of thing that we're creating patterns with this. And as long as you're alternating so that this one went over and this one went under and going back and forth like that, they're gonna stay in and they're gonna hold together and it's gonna look really cool at the end. All right, happy creating.
No special memories of you. Always brings a smile to my face. If only I could have you back, just for a little while. Then we could sit and talk again, just like we used to do. You will always have a piece of my heart. No one will ever replace. A million times I needed you, a million times I've cried. No one loved you dearly. I couldn't make you say the love leaves a memory no one can steal. I'm doing take it back until every day's the last, until I'm returned to the day before you left. A beautiful soul is never forgotten. Those we love just don't disappear. They walk beside us every day. I know it'll take time and strength before things feel quite right. Just for now, my heart it needs to mend. Companion, pal, and partner, a friend I won't forget. your heart. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. A million times I've needed you, a million times I've cried. Though I loved you dearly, I couldn't make you say your love leaves a memory no one can steal. And do it, take it back until every day's the last, until I'm returned to the day before you left. A beautiful soul is never forgotten. A beautiful soul is never forgotten. Yeah. A beautiful soul is never forgotten.
Hello everyone, I'm Megan from the Red Wing Public Library, and I'm here today to sing one of our favorite springtime storytime songs. Here in Minnesota, it is definitely frog season. So if you have been on a walk recently, especially if you have a pond or a marsh by your house, or if you go for a walk down by the river, I bet you have heard the frogs singing. They're going crazy right now. They're so excited that it's springtime. So if you are lucky enough while you're walking to see 5 green and speckled frogs hanging out on a log, if they see you, they'll probably jump into the water. Probably all at once, but in this song they go one at a time. So this song is called 5 Green and Speckled Frogs. So sing along with me. It goes like this. 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. Glub, glub. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. I hope you enjoyed that song. We'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, we hope you like Stir Crazy. Don't forget to tune in again next week for a new episode. 1, 2, sing along. Stir Crazy, let's have some fun.